Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into a really fascinating piece of 8th grade curriculum today. It tackles this amazing intersection, mastering algebraic flexibility while simultaneously exploring how our core identity remains totally steady through life's changes. So let's unpack exactly how this source material blends math and character. Let's kick things off with a pretty powerful principle. The Apostle Paul famously talked about adapting to different groups of people in order to reach them, becoming all things to all people. Well, much like shifting your approach based on your environment, this lesson shows how we must adapt our mathematical equations to solve different types of problems. The core message doesn't change, but the presentation definitely does. And the curriculum actually connects this perfectly to the idea that true understanding requires clarity. Believers are called to speak with gentleness and respect when asked about their faith. In math, this translates directly to reasoning, communicating, and justifying your steps. Just knowing the answer isn't enough. The curriculum stresses that you need to be able to explain exactly why that answer makes sense. All right, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the architecture of identity, move into 3 linear equation forms, do a step-by-step equation conversion, look at homework and partner practice, and finally wrap up with education, morality, and peace.
Part 1, the architecture of identity, staying rooted through change.
So the lesson starts with this foundational spiritual concept. Think about it. Just like someone might be a student at school, a sibling at home, and a teammate on the field, their core identity in Christ remains exactly the same. The text bridges this to what it calls mathematical versatility. Basically, an equation can change its form, look completely different on the page, but still retain its exact same mathematical value.
The goals for this module are super clear. Identify the form of a linear equation, switch between forms when needed, and, crucially, explain your process clearly. Verbalizing the steps out loud is presented as the absolute ultimate proof of true mathematical fluency. Moving right along to Part 2, 3 linear equation forms, different roles, same value.
The material breaks it down into 3 distinct forms. You've got point-slope form, which gives you exactly what it sounds like, a specific point on the line and the slope. Then slope-intercept is famous for revealing the slope and where the line crosses the y-axis. And finally, standard form highlights the relationship between the x and y variables, which is fantastic for finding intercepts. Every single one has its own unique strengths depending on the problem you're facing. So you might be wondering, why do we even need 3 different forms? Well, mastering this algebraic flexibility is a total game changer. It allows you to fluidly move ideas around. It's all about isolating variables quickly, communicating math differently depending on the context, and ultimately making much faster, better decisions when solving problems. All right, part 3, step-by-step equation conversion, transforming your equations. Now we actually get to take a single equation and walk through the exact conversion steps. We start with point-slope form. Y minus 2 equals 3 times the quantity x plus 1. To unlock slope-intercept, you just distribute that 3 into the parentheses and add 2 to both sides. That leaves us with y equals 3x plus 5. Finally, to reveal standard form, you subtract 3x to get the variables on one side, and then multiply by -1 to keep that leading coefficient positive. Boom! That gives us 3x minus y equals -5. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that even though an equation in point-slope form and an equation in standard form look totally different on the outside, their core truth, the actual line they graph on a coordinate plane, remains exactly the same. It's just like having a steady core identity. Next up, part 4, homework and partner practice, test your fluency. Here's where the curriculum challenges students with an exit ticket. They grab a partner and work through identifying and converting equations, and even writing a brand new point-slope equation from scratch. The golden rule for this exercise? They must verbally explain their steps to their partner to clearly communicate their reasoning. Once they've nailed that, the independent homework kicks in. The challenge is to take 5 distinct equations, figure out their current form, and rewrite each one into the 2 remaining forms. It's basically designed as a mental workout to really cement that algebraic flexibility. And our final section, Part 5, Education, Morality, and Peace, the HeroesMart Philosophy. As the lesson wraps up, the HeroesMart Academy Godly Learners series zooms out to intertwine all of this with biblical morality. The philosophy essentially asks, what is the point of being incredibly smart and highly educated if you just continue making choices that hurt yourself or others? Knowledge is viewed as a tool, and morality is the compass guiding how you use it. The source material really emphasizes that building a spiritual mind right alongside your academic education isn't just about following a set of rules. It's presented as the ultimate formula for true peace. Citing Romans chapter 8, the curriculum asserts that keeping the mind spiritual brings life and peace, which is a huge core takeaway for the students. So as we wrap up today's explainer, the curriculum leaves its students with a really compelling question. Are you ready to transform your equations while keeping your core identity firmly rooted in truth? It's a pretty fascinating approach, asking learners to prove they can adapt to literally any math problem, while letting their mathematical consistency reflect a much deeper trust in their spiritual foundation.